Nevada Democrats are rallying around Attorney General Aaron Ford as he launches his run for governor. Ford spoke at the state Democratic convention after securing his party's nomination. He told delegates Democrats are fired up and promised to take on what he calls an affordability crisis, pointing to rising costs. Ford says he wants to work with lawmakers in Carson City to put Nevada families first and offers a different direction from Governor Joe Lombardo.
This affordability crisis that we're living in, with gas prices being too high, groceries being too high, health care costs being too high, housing being too high.
Ford also highlighted other Democrats on the ticket and national figures in town for the convention, calling Nevada a key chance for his party to flip the governor's seat in November.